I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ the Lord. Emmanuel Ahimbisibwe again from the Orchard of Marriage, and your daily motivating leader, your daily encourager, your daily partner in this journey of marriage. Yes, we've been here for some time, and I want to appreciate all of you who have been following us up. All of you have been, who have been part of us, who have been subscribing to us, and who have shared our videos and our messages to as many of your friends as possible. Yes, and today we are sharing yet another great message, and it looks a common message, but very powerful and very great. Husbands as leaders of families is the message of today. Husbands as leaders of families. Yes, it may sound a very automatic message, a very obvious message, but I want to go down and see what it means and see, how it unveils, how it works. I want to speak to husbands and appreciate all those husbands who have been there for their families. As a matter of fact, this generation in our time, we have many husbands who have been involved in the family affairs, who have gone with their wives to the hospital when they are delivering and giving birth to the babies, who have always gone for antenatal with their wives. When you go to antenatal areas, you'll find that there are lots of wives who come with their husbands for antenatal checkup. When they're taking children for medication, for immunization, you'll find incidences where the husband is present and is involved, is present when they are antenatal, they're involved, the immunization, they're involved, someone is sick, they're involved. You'll find husbands who are there, and they would have sacrificed their everything to be present there. So I want to appreciate all those husbands who have been there, who has ensured that they take their families to church, they take their families to worship God, who have established a family altar at home. I want to appreciate all those husbands here and to say thank you so much for doing the work of God. Thank you so much for being there, doing the work of the kingdom, the work of our Father God in heaven. So I want to thank you so much and applaud you, all of you husbands who have been there for that. Husbands who have been there, to take their children to reporting at school, paying their tuition, their school fees. I want to appreciate all those husbands, have been taking a step, to go for visitation of their children at school. They go and check about the progress of their child, the health of their child, the relationships of their child, to have time to listen to their children. Listen to their children. Those husbands have come here to appreciate you and say, thank you so much for the great work you've done. There's some husband who told us, this couple was speaking to us at some retreat, at some marriage retreat, and the man told us he now has children in the universities. And he told us that right from the beginning, he has never missed any visitation day of any of their children. And I think they have like 4 or 5. I'm not good on those numbers. But all of those, maybe you can say 4. He has never missed any visitation day of any of their children. He is always there. There's a time when he had to sacrifice to travel from a big conference and travel a very long distance, driving very long distances. And when he reached at school, the time for VD was over. He reached when it was already 7 p.m. And it's a very strict school, one of the topmost schools in our country. And he insisted to the security until the information reached the administration that he has to see his children at least. Has to see his child and, at least greet this child, at least have a face interaction with this child, and then he can go back. And the story cut short, it was, they allowed him to just see his child at the gate. And, register his presence and say, I have been here. I have failed to be on time, but I have come. So I want to applaud such a men who have always been there to carry this mantle for their family, who have always made sure that their family is provided for, even maybe when you don't have a job, maybe you do not have a good business income, you do not have, any good provisions, but you've been ensured that your family is taken care of. So I want to applaud you, and I've come to speak to such a man. But also there's another category of men who have not done much, They don't have money, they don't have money. They don't have resources, You know, they have not done much in terms of direction and guidance of their family. So I've come to also speak to that category, dear friends, and say, men, we need to be leaders of our families. We need to come up. We need to come up and be leaders of our families. A man called Napoleon, you've heard this saying, you know, it's said so long. The world suffers a lot not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence of good people. I have a message to share from that beginning. You know, the world suffers not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence of good people. I want a proud man and call upon men to stand up to the task of being a father, to stand up to the task of being a husband, to stand up to the task of being a leader at their homes, to make sure you are there to give direction, to give vision to the family. You are upholding the vision for your family. You are upholding the direction for your family. You are holding the mantle and you are showing direction for the family. Yes. The men, they are known to be very quiet. Most ladies will tell you, oh, my husband is very quiet. My husband does not care. My husband is a very reserved man. He's a man of few words. Men, being a man of few words does not mean you are a man who is not taking leadership. You may be reserved, you may be humble and quiet, but men, I want to make sure that, you know, the vision for the family comes out very clearly. The leading of the family comes out very clearly. Being very quiet and reserved does not mean that people cannot see that leadership skill in you, that leadership, you know, activity in you. They should see a leader directing them, a leader who knows where he is taking the family, a leader who knows what he's pursuing, a leader who knows what he's focusing on. So a man, a husband, is a leader who takes the direction for the family, who guides them and shows them where they're progressing to. I want to challenge you, dear friends who are listening to me. Man, I want us to rise up to the task and know that we are leaders of these families. When you keep quiet, sometimes the wife is lost. The wife fails to understand. The whole year, they don't know what they are focusing at, what they are driving to. They don't know, for example, you know, a lot of things. When children are going back to school, are there provisions or there are no provisions? There are food or there are no food, shelter, rent is paid or not paid. A lot of things are not adding up. So I want to challenge us, dear friends, and call upon all the husbands who are listening to me that we need to stand up to the task and make sure we are there in charge. In charge. A husband should be in charge, should be in control, should be directing their family, should be proving that he is in charge and is in control. There are lots of details that you may not be involved in, a lot of operational things in your home that you may not be involved in, but it should be very clear that you are in charge and in control of your family. In charge and in control of your family. People should not waver. People should not be lost. People should not be in darkness. People should not be lost somewhere that they don't know what is adding on, what is coming next. We have 2 weeks now to Christmas season where I'm talking to. I don't know whether you receive this message, but we have very short time to Christmas time. And I want to challenge you, dear friends, you know, coming to Christmas, people would want to know what is next. Where are we taking our Christmas? The previous message we were talking about planning for a festive season. As Christian families, planning for them, being strategic and, you know, having the vision for the festive season. But now, have we communicated, men? Have we communicated? You cannot be a good leader when you have not communicated, dear friends. You need to make sure that you are able to communicate to your family and they know the direction they are taking. They know what is coming next, what is coming the next month, what is coming next year. What are we working up to? Today we have many ladies who are working, but who are working and earning some good sums of money, earning handsomely. Maybe some of them may not be handsomely, but they are earning something. So a woman would be so much motivated and encouraged to be a good wife and to be married to a good husband that even when she's making some money, she knows this money is adding up to some resources, adding up to some direction. A woman would be motivated and encouraged when she knows the husband has a direction he's taking them in, and the wife can make a contribution to that direction, can make a contribution to this strategic plan that we have, to this vision that we have as a family. You know, be clear, communicate, dear friends, share about these things. Even when you're reserved and you're so much humble and you're so much quiet, I want to tell you, you can find a way to communicate the direction for the family, to communicate, you know, the strategic plan for the family, to communicate. If I had money, I would be doing this and this. If I had this, I would be doing this. And next time, I would be doing this and this. I want our family to begin doing this and this. Maybe Bible studies, maybe encourage them with church activity, encourage them, you know, how to seek God, how to come closer to God. You know, you are encouraging your family, you are in charge. The family is not in darkness. When a wife is, some of these wives, they are working and you hear their money is only spent on saloon, their money is only spent maybe on their relatives, their money maybe is only spent on, dressing up themselves in boutiques, boutique after boutique. But I want to challenge you, dear friend, some of these ladies, some of our good wives have been lost in that direction because the man has not shown the vision. He has not shared the vision. He has not shared what the family is working on, the direction the family is taking. He has not shared about it. Sometimes we are struggling with loans, we are struggling with debt, we are struggling, with the heaviness of provision. But sometimes just because we have not been able to share with our wives, where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going. They need to be brought up into the formula. There should be a clear formula of where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, that your family needs to know what is coming, especially where we are going. Where we are coming from is very important. Where we are is very important, but also where we are heading to. When we are looking for these jobs, when we are making an income, when we are, working on this and the other, dear friends, we need to be sure that our family knows what is coming next. We need to be sure that the family knows what is coming next. Not just be in bed and you're sleeping, from bed to the TV, from the TV to the bed. I mean, you may not be having a job, you may not be having work currently, but it should also not be about, bed and the TV and the bed. A man should not have a life of such a kind. You should be seen, you are working on this, working on the next, working on it. We said men, when it comes to works of productivity, men can be more productive than any other. They can be more productive. So dear friends, as we are becoming productive, as we are dreaming for the family, as a matter of fact, I wanted to mention that as a man, to be a good leader of your family, you need to be seen as a dreamer. You are a dreamer. And you're dreaming smartly. You're dreaming, in specific, achievable, measurable timeline objectives. Dear friends, we need to be seen smart. We need to be dreaming in things that are achievable. Some of us, sometimes we are dreaming things that the wife looks and is like, oh God, when shall we ever reach there? But when you try to break these specific objectives, the smart objectives into bits, into achievable goals, it makes life very easier for the wife also and for the whole family, dear friends. So let us try to dream very big, but also be able to break down these big dreams to be achievable in a specific time for the family. So dear friends, that's the message I have for you. That as men, we need to dream big. We need to have a vision for the family. We need to show the family we are taking them somewhere. And we need to be in charge of every step of the progress for this family. We need to be in charge to do evaluation, monitoring and evaluation in our family. We need to be in charge of what is happening, what has happened and what is happening next. We need to be able to explain why we have not achieved what we wanted to achieve. We need to share about these things. We are coming to the end of the year. Dear friends, we need to find a time as a family and we discuss about what has happened in the year and what have we been able to do and what we have not been able to do and what we are adding on next year. That should be very clear. If you are a husband who does not do these evaluations, you do not do this monitoring of the plan that we put down and then where we are heading to. As a matter of fact, as men to be good husbands, these plans need to be written. When you're setting goals as a family, I know we shall set goals at the end of the year for the next year, but I want to challenge you, friend, these goals have to be written. I want to challenge you, I want to encourage you that you need to have them written. If you can just borrow the model that is used at my home, I know I sit with my wife and we start writing what we want to achieve the next year. We have evaluated this year what we have been able to do, and then we look at the next year what we want to work on. And normally she is the secretary, and then she writes it. And I told you some time back, we used to have many goals to achieve. Many things that were set to achieve in a year, but with time we came to mature, and now we have like 5 or 4 on the goals that we are looking at, on the things that we are saying, God, this year we want to reach at this, we want to achieve this. So dear friends, I want to request you, I want to challenge you, the world we are in, we can no longer continue informal all the time. The goals at my heart, the activities I want to do at my heart, all the focus is at my heart, my vision is at my heart, my smart objectives at my heart. No, they need to come out of your heart and come out where? Your family needs to be involved. Today the children, we have our modern children who are in primary, as a matter of fact, they want to know what we are focused on as a family. Some time back, I asked my children to pray. Not just some time back. You know, when you ask my children to lead a prayer, they're likely to pray, Dad, we are praying, God, that we finish this house. We are praying that, God, you know, we work on our candidate functions very well. We are praying that we'll get school fees. We are praying that we put up a gate. Some people who know my home now, they know what I'm talking about. We are praying that we are able to do this. They will pray about certain things and you're like, God, what is all this? If they have a small screen, they are praying that, God, you give us a big TV screen. So they are able to identify these things because we talk about them, they see them, and maybe we share about them. I want to challenge you, dear friends, husbands, we need to take charge of this leadership. We take charge of this leadership. And I could not go away from, you know, a husband being a priest, being a prophet, and being a king. Let me share about them. It's a common message everywhere. If you ask Google, it will show you. Many people have shared about that message, and it will not change because they are facts. The facts. That the husband is a priest. Let me begin from a priest. A priest had to bring, you know, things from people to God. He's communicating to God on behalf of the people. He's representing people to God. On behalf of the people, he's representing people to God. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, that in whatever we are doing, we are priests, we are representing our families to God. We are taking our families to God. So I don't know how you've been able to take your family to God, dear friends. I don't know how you've been able to carry your family's burdens to God. How you've been able to lead devotion, to lead prayer, to lead the word of God, to bring the prayer request to God. You know, when we are praying, let's be open. Don't just because they are children and you are praying for only small things, and you know you want to pray for big things when they are not children. Some of these things we need to break them down for children to understand also, to know this is where we are. I want to challenge you, dear friends. We need to be there. We need to be there. We need to be there, dear friends, and make sure we are taking our family to God and our children are able to share on where we are and where we are going to. Where we are going to. We should not look like things are obvious in our home when actually they are not obvious. God is in charge. Oh no, God is in charge. So the more you bring your family to be involved as a priest, you make sure you present them to God, the more you help them, the more they are supported, the more the family, you know, gets stamina that our family depends on God. Yes, the family needs to know that they depend on God. You take them to God. But also the husband as a prophet. The husband as a prophet brings a message of God to people now. He's doing almost the work that is almost vice versa of the priest. The priest is taking people to God, taking prayer requests to God, but now the prophet is bringing a message from God now to the people. So I want to challenge us, dear friends. We are prophets as husbands. We need to bring a message, you know, from God to our families. We need to make sure we are ahead. All these things, they show you that the husband should go ahead of all others. The husband should go, you know, should lead the way. The things of remaining back until the wife taking children to church, the wife to lead prayers at home, and the husband, you're folding your hands like this, dear friends, we will not go very far. We will not go very far. Husbands keeping very quiet will not solve much in our home. We need to speak up. We need to communicate. We need to share about these things. We need to show, you know, as a prophet also, you're visionary. You're seeing very far. You're speaking to the family things that are yet to come, things that are not yet here, but they are yet to come. Maybe you're looking in the 10 years to come, you're looking in the 20 years to come, and you want to prepare your family. You want to prepare your family. This is where we are going. Maybe there's a giveaway ceremony of someone new. Maybe there's a wedding ceremony of someone new. But maybe you want to buy land somewhere. But maybe you want to develop in this and this way. Maybe you want to go for some conference some time to come. Maybe you want your family to participate in this thing at church. Maybe you want, you are sharing with your family about what is to come. And that's the work of the prophet, dear friends. I want to challenge you. You would want to participate in the role of being a prophet to your family. Prophet your family. You are able to carry things that the family has not yet seen. Has not yet seen. A husband should be running very far ahead. You know, I had this leader that I worked for. Maybe most of the CEOs that we've worked for, most of the CEOs, most of the managing directors that we have worked for, normally you will come to report something that looks very strange to you. You think it is a very new discovery. You think it is a very new idea, fresh idea. But in most times when you come to the CEO to speak, this one is likely to tell you, I had thought about that some time back. Yes, you're thinking something I've been thinking about for some time. Normally, the CEOs will tell you like that. The good CEOs, You'll bring a very fresh idea, novel, a very novel idea, but they're likely to tell you, I have been thinking about that. I had thought about it and I realized it cannot work for us. I had seen it also, but I realized maybe it cannot work for us. It is something I'm planning we can do next year. It's something I want the whole team to take up. It's something that we need to present to the whole staff. It's something we need to present to the board, maybe to the AGM, maybe, I don't know. You will find them walking ahead. The very few things where you will bring and the CEO has never thought about these things. I mean, these are owners of the company, these are directors of the company, these are the people who carry the whole mantle. They are leaders. And that's the work of a prophet, dear friends. That a lot of things that are likely to come, you have already thought through. You've already thought through. You have already thought. I've always asked this stubborn question. That today, if you got some amount of money that you've never dreamt of. Okay, let me talk in terms of Uganda. If you got 1 billion shillings today, what would you do with this 1 billion shillings? Remember, your salary maybe has been around 500,000, your income is around 1 million a month. So today, if you got 100 million, what would you do with this? And that's testing your ability as a prophet. Ability as a prophet. Have you been able to think very far? Then there are these also trainers also will ask you, tell us your plan in the next 10 years. 10 years to come, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? That's also testing our skills as a prophet. In the next 10 years, tell us, where do you see yourself, Emma? A friend of mine likes asking me that question. And I also ask others, in the 10 years, where do you see yourself? In the 20 years, where do you see yourself? That means if you got 100 money, when you have been walking a journey of in 10 years, where do I see myself? In 20 years, where do I see myself? And most of these things, you need to write them. Be a person who can write these things. We have phones which have notebooks. Write them. We have hard copies. Write them. You have a computer. Write them. Where do you see yourself in the next 20 years, in the next 10 years? A husband is a prophet, and he has seen what other people have not seen. Lastly, I want to challenge us, dear friends. A husband is a king. A king is to make sure all his kingdom is taken care of. All his kingdom, they have food, they have shelter, they have infrastructure. That's why the kings had a lot of stores for food. They have many stores for food, dear friends. Kings had, a lot of land to make sure they take care of those who are lacking, those who don't have things, who are not able to care for themselves or take care of themselves, to provide for themselves. A king should be there for them. A king ensures his kingdom is provided for. He fights for his kingdom to make sure whatever he has, his kingdom is stable, is at peace, and is provided for. So the king's role, it takes our ability to take care of our families, to provide for our families, as a matter of fact, but also take security for our families. So are you there, dear husbands, as leaders of your homes? Are you providing for your family? Are you in charge to make sure that your family is assured of making a journey without interruptions? That's where we bring issues of like, if I lost my job today, where would my family be? That's why your family would want to know, if you were not there today, where would they be? Would they be safe? And it disturbs many marriages, disturbs many families, dear friends. If the husband, if our dad, our father, if my husband is not there tomorrow, where would we be? So it is not in a negative sense, dear friends, but we are talking in a positive way as a king, that you need to provide for your family, that they are at peace whether you are there or not. That they are cared for whether you are there or not, dear friends. That is the role of a king. He also sees very far for his family. And we do these things in the corporate world, but I don't know why when we come at home, we don't think so much about them. That our family needs to be sure of their tomorrow. Our family needs to be sure of what is coming next. Our family needs to be sure that, their relationship with God, the Father is in charge. The Father is in charge of their provisions. The Father, even when the wife is working, but he sees the husband is always there, then she's there. She knows she will bring to the treasury at home, because we are all focused in something common. Something common, dear friends. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, as a king, the father at home, as a king, the husband at home, you need to make sure that your family is provided for. Yes, you need to make sure the family is protected. It is a role that has suffered a lot in this time. That maybe some of the husbands, they do not care. They have dreams that are for themselves. They are selfish, They have not cared for the family, and the wife is there doing this and the other to take care of the family. I want to ask you, dear for our husbands, I want to challenge you that we need to be leaders, to be in charge of providing for our families. We need to be in charge of our societies, dear friends. We need to prove that we are leaders. We need to prove that we are in charge and we can drive our societies ahead. We need to prove, let us not make the world, not sure. Be predictable. As a husband, you need to be predictable. As a husband, you need to be predictable. You need to be reliable. Someone should be able to rely on you for tomorrow. Someone should be able to rely on you that, as long as you are here, when you are a prayerful person, maybe you are a Bible reading person, you are a person who has a relationship with God, they can depend on you. You are a family who cannot tell your family they don't have food, and you are like, I also don't have what to do. Find a way how to survive, dear friends. We can no longer be like that. A husband, you need to be dependable, but you also need to be reliable. That's the message I want to bring to us. Never lose that one, to be dependable and to be reliable in your family. You hold the vision, and this vision, you monitor it, you follow it up, you evaluate it, and you want to see it fulfilled up to the end. Yes, that's what proves us as husbands, that we are in charge. We are in charge. Children, maybe they have not reported back to school, and you have not found the funds, but should you fold your hands? Should you be seen so stuck like you have nowhere out? Husbands, because we connect to God, He gives us vision, He gives us direction, He speaks to us more than He can speak to anyone else. Dear friends, I want to challenge you. We need to be seen in direction. We need to be seen in leadership position and taking things forward. We need to be seen advancing forward. We need to be seen like we are up to something. Every man should be seen like you are up to something. The moment you lose that direction, you lose that vision of being seen like you are up to something, then you are failing, dear friends. You are not being a good role as a husband. You're not there up to the task. Being a family head is not just in words. It's not just in words. The family is without a man, and they're doing well. But I want to challenge you, where there is a man, where there is a husband, dear friends, you need to be seen like you are in charge, and there is somewhere where you are taking your family. Don't fold hands. No, don't fold hands, dear friends. Be seen like you are active. Some husbands, they are absent husbands. You hear they've been talking of absent fathers, absent husbands, who do not care, who do not mind. They do not mind whether the family has food or not. They do not mind whether the children are going to school or not. They do not mind whether there is shelter or not, whether rent is paid or not. They are there but absent. The wife has had to learn a way to maneuver and make life happen. God forbid for any man around me to be seen like that. Any husband around me to be seen like he's folding hands, and the wife has to maneuver the way through. I know we can also run short of resources, we can run short of funds, we can run short of, maybe skills. But therefore, let's communicate, let's be on the same page, and let's not stop working, let's not stop, finding solutions. We need to identify problems in time, and we find solutions for them in time, dear friends. You need to be a husband who is able to find solutions for your family. That is so wonderful and so powerful. I want to encourage you. I want to salute you. And I want to say thank you so much for the great work you are doing, dear husband. Those of you have done great work. Those of you have been there for their family. Right, from when you married your wife, you're going to antenatal together. You're taking care of them. When they are going through their MPs, you are there standing with them. When they are delivering their children, you're standing with them up to the end of your lives. You need to be a husband who is involved, who is seen involved, and emotional also. You can be present physically, but you're not present emotionally. So your family would want to see you present also emotionally. And that's why I brought in the words of being dependable, being reliable. They can rely on you, they can depend on you, because even emotionally you are present, they can feel you. The dad, as a matter of fact, he may be a dad of few words, he may be a husband of few words, quiet, but they feel you. They feel you. They know your family, what is needed. You know what is good for your family, what is not good for your family. For example, you can determine the values for your family. So, dear friends, that's the message I'm bringing to you. Thank you so much. I'm happy that we've shared this message and I've met you here. May the good Lord bless you. Nice time until we meet again.